I believe the strongest videos you can make as a business owner are you talking to the camera. However, as great as that idea sounds, I know it can be tricky to put yourself in front of the camera and be talking to the lens like I am right now. So, we're going to spend a few minutes. I'm going to encourage you to do it and give you some practical tips. And hopefully, by the end of this, you'll feel much better about getting up in front of the camera. Firstly, you already know everything that you're going to talk about, okay? You're an expert in what you do. You may not feel that sometimes, but you are. You're doing the stuff day in, day out. So you should have some confidence in yourself and in your abilities to talk about those things. I bet you can already talk about them, when you're down the pub or talking to colleagues or prospective customers. You can already talk confidently about this. So just remember that you know the content. You just need to be confident in front of the camera. Having said all that, you don't have to know everything, okay? Now, we want to get to know the authentic you, and probably if you're like the vast majority of people, you don't know everything in the world or everything about your subject. Don't let that put you off. All you really need to know is a little bit more than the people that you're talking to. So don't worry about the fact that you might not know everything. Just have a go and talk authentically about what you do know. The next tip is to imagine yourself talking to only one person. So you already probably have an ideal customer profile, an avatar. So that's probably a good place to start. So perhaps one of your existing customers or a prospective customer. So for example, right now, I know in my head who I'm talking to. Tom's behind the camera, but I'm not actually talking to him. He's just there to monitor what we're doing. In my head, I'm talking to a very specific person with these tips. So think about who you could be talking to. Imagine there's no one else in the room, there's no one else watching, you're just talking to that person. This is a message for you. Next, be yourself. Don't worry about trying to be, like Mr. Beast on YouTube or something, because that's probably not you. We want to get to know you, and you're going to be much better in front of the camera if you just act like yourself. It's really easy to come on and think you need to shout and scream and move and blah, blah, blah. And maybe that's you, but maybe it's not. I'm not a big sort of shouty, screamy, kind of over the top kind of person. So I have to stand here and be myself, whether people like it or not. And if they don't like it, that's fine, because I want to talk to people that do like it, and they are my prospective customers. Next, the dreaded We all do it. We all do it a lot. My tip for you is when you feel an coming on, is just to pause, just stop. Okay, and that pause might feel like a long time in your head when you're talking to the camera, but I promise you it won't look like anything when you look back. Now, of course, there's going to be a few and everything in there, but just try to reduce them down. We don't mind having a few. It's natural. That's how we talk naturally. But yeah, when there you go, I did one. Okay, the ums, the ahs, all of that. When you feel them coming on, just try to pause, and they'll soon go away, and you'll think about the next thing that you've got to say. Talking of pauses, just quickly, we're building this YouTube channel for you, to help you and to help our mission of eliminating dull marketing and elevating UK manufacturing. So if you're enjoying these videos, please hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and you'll get to see more of this content. We'll get to create better content for you, and we'll all help each other to grow. Right, let's get back to the video. Next, it doesn't have to be perfect. Seeking perfectionism can lead you to not do anything. So don't worry about it being absolutely perfect. If it's a social media video you're making, it really doesn't have to be completely perfect, right? It's more important that you get the message out there. Yes, maybe have a few attempts to try and get it right, but don't keep going all day long just to, get it a little bit better. Get the message out there. It's more important that you get started. If it's for example, a company brand video that you're making, then of course you do want it to be a little better. But in that situation, you're probably going to have a professional production team or an editor working on the video, and you'll be amazed at what they can do. We've done videos with people where we've done hour-long, 2-hour-long interviews, and we've condensed it all down to a sort of 3-minute video, and it just sounds like they're just talking really naturally. So when you're in that situation, again, just don't worry too much. Just be yourself, talk to the camera, or if someone's interviewing you, talk to the interviewer, and it will get cut down and you'll sound amazing. Don't worry about it having to be absolutely perfect on each and every sentence. It will all come together, I promise. Next, scripting. Now, we always recommend not to script out everything that you're going to say. The reason is that unless you're a professional actor, it's going to sound a bit wooden if you're reading from a script. It's just the way it is. And even if you're trying to remember a script, it will come across as being inauthentic and just hard to watch. So I always recommend make some notes, think about it beforehand, what you're going to say, but don't worry about reading it word for word. It will come across a lot clearer and a lot more like you if you're just being yourself and not talking from a script. Remember what I said in the earlier points. You know all this stuff anyway, so don't try and think that you have to get these specific words in. Be yourself, talk naturally, and it will come across great. It does take time, and my next tip really is the most obvious one, which is make a start. Make a start at this stuff. The first time I held phone up to my camera to do social media videos, I hated it. There was no one in the room, but I felt like everyone was watching me. Everyone was going to judge me. I was going to sound stupid, look stupid, all the rest of it. But you've got to make a start. It's only through having made a start that I've got to this point where I feel reasonably comfortable standing in front of the camera and recording these videos. So please go out there and make a start. The next one is a little bit of a bonus tip from a friend of mine, Jane Anson. She told me to smile before I start talking to the camera. And I think this is a really good tip. It just gets your face a bit relaxed. It gets you sort of, looking a bit more confident and approachable in front of the camera. So just before you start, just do a smile. That doesn't have to go into the video, but it just gets you into the right frame of mind. Try not to overthink it. You know all this stuff. You can get in front of the camera and deliver it. Don't overthink, just do it. And as I've said a few times already, starting is the hardest part. So just get past that. Just make a start. You want this to work. You want this for your business. Get up there, get in front of the camera and have a go. Let me know in the comments below which one of these tips you found resonated the most. And if you want a link to any of your videos, please, I'd love to see what you're doing. Feel free to tag me in on LinkedIn or wherever you're posting. I'd love to see it. Go get started. You've got this.